What up, though? And back with another video. I was thinking like, okay, what if I had to, this is crazy, I got the hat on too, No Limit Records. But I was just sitting here thinking like, what if I was asked if I had to choose between No Limit Records and Murder Inc. Records? Who would I go to? That's a tough question. But I'm honestly gonna say if I had to choose between either No Limit Records or Murder Inc. Records, I would ride with Murder Inc. Records. I would go with Murder Inc. Records. Because they had an even bigger impact on my life. Don't get me wrong, you see the hat. Like, I love No Limit Records. I do. Everybody knows this. Y'all know this. I love No Limit Records. Like, those was the cassettes and CDs that I was started off buying, and that's all I would listen to, majority of the time. I ain't gonna say that's all, because I listen to everything, but majority of the time it was No Limit. But when Murder Inc. came in the game, because I remember when Vinny Betty Vici, whatever the name, I remember when that album dropped. Cause Holla Holla, that was a problem. That was so hard. I think I was in 6th grade when that came out. 5th, 6th grade, one of the two. But that was like the beginning stage of Murder Inc. So when I got on, Rule 336. Yep, I was in 6th grade when Rule 336 came out. I was vibing with it. Okay, Ja Rule, he nice, When Pain is Love hit the game that following year, 2021, 7th grade. Now, when that hit the game, I'm like, okay, I rock with Ja Rule. But it was, no, not Pain is Love. What did it for me was The Last Temptation. The Last Temptation is what did it for me. And by the way, that is my favorite Ja Rule album. But The Last Temptation is what did it for me. Like, that right there is what made me, like, I'm around this, what I'm saying? I'm murdering this, that, and the third. Ja Rule, that's my favorite. I don't care about what nobody say. That beef, I don't care, bro. I'm riding with Ja Rule. You know what I'm saying? Because that was around the time, like, No Limit, they wasn't even, like, really rocking like that. There was a lot going on at the time. But I do want to say the following year, after, I think it was that same year, matter of fact. But that's when the 504 Boys dropped the Ballers album with Tight Whips and all of that on there. I'm like, yo, okay, but Murder Inc. they was like at they peak at the height of their career, man. Like I said, bro, because Ashanti, she dropped her debut. Like Ja Rule, he came with The Pain is Love. Then the Last Temptation, bro. Those albums was dope, man. It's like each album Ja Rule got better, in my opinion, because everybody swear up and down like his debut album was his best album. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just what I consider all his better music was like when they Herb was like, yo, let's take this round of the game. You got the like all the hits really started, with Rule 336. Put It On Me, Between Me and You, you know what I'm saying? I Cry. Then what he got on Pain is Love. Living It Up, Always on Time, Down Ass Bitch. Yeah, bro, that Last Temptation, that was a problem. So look, check it. You got Thug Love. He brought back Bobby Brown, bro. That album was that record was fire. Mesmerized, him and Ashanti. Now that's what it was too, that right there, man. Mesmerized. I'm in 8th grade. When that record dropped, bro, I had like, because it was like, I had like the biggest crush on this girl. I ain't gonna say her name, but I had like the biggest crush on her. And like every time I see her, that song would just pop in my head. You know what I'm saying? I used to picture me and her being like Ja Rule and Ashanti. And yeah, man, it was just like Murder Inc. was just so dope to me. Like it was different. You know what I'm saying? And Ja Rule, I don't care what y'all say, but Ja Rule had the game on lock around that time. He had the game on lock. So yeah, you got not Living It Up. You got Thug Lovin', you got Mesmerized, and what was the other record? Murder Reigns. That was my record too. I love that song. When he was discussing the beef and everything that they was going on, and then man, not to mention the beef, bro. He had like the little disc record that he had on there, Connected with Eastwood and Crooked Out. That was straight. Destiny was like, you know, that record that came on at the end of Mesmerized. Bro, Murder Inc. was just so dope to me. And around that time, it was probably a little bit before that. Yeah, because like Ashanti dropped her record, the debut. Then she came back with Chapter 2. Chapter 2 was fire. Chapter 2 is fire. That whole little run, you got the debut, Chapter 2, you got Last Temptation. Then don't even get me started on Irv Gotti Presents the Ink. And the movie they did, Half Past Dead. That is like one of my all-time favorite movies, bro. Half Past Dead with Ja Rule and Steve the Cigar. And they played like a lot of the records. They played some of the records from that album in that movie. So it's like that whole little run was just so great to me. And I remember like around that time all of that was going on, me and my crew, we was trying to do music. Like, you know what I'm saying? I come from Bentley, in Brightmount, Bentley Street. That street once upon a time was just full of kids. Me and all my crew. Next door to my house, it was a family, a husband and wife, and I think they had like 6 boys. I think they had 4 boys and they had a cousin. And I want to say like the grandma was staying with them because the crib next to me was like a big crib. It was like the biggest crib you would see on the block. And it looked like it wasn't even supposed to be over there. Y'all know, if y'all from the city, y'all know about Brightmount, the jungle. When that crib was over there, it looked like that wasn't even supposed to be on that block. It should have been in Rosedale Park or something. Because it was big old backyard, front yard. It was fenced in. It was nice. And yeah, me and my crew, we was cool with all of them when they came on the block. You know what I'm saying? You know, we introduced ourselves. We all became cool. So I remember around that time, we all was like trying to jump into music. That's when we started like, we want to do this. We want to pursue this. And I was picturing us being like Murder Inc. Quote on, like Ja Rule quoted, it's the world's most talented record label. And I wanted that for us. I wanted us to be, you know, like the most talented crew, record label, whatever we was gonna be. I wanted that for us. It was deep, like I said. It was me, my best friend. It was, you know, it was all of them. You know what I'm saying? And there was a couple other people, bro, that was on the block around that time, man. We was just all clicked up, bro. We was like 10, 12, 15 deep, man. And I just wanted that for us, man. But it, you know, just a dream, little kids, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like that was just like everything for me, bro. And it's like, I was like one of the very few people just riding and just sticking up for Murder Inc., Ja Rule and Ashanti through everything, bro. Don't get me wrong, man. Of course, Get Rich or Die Trying is a classic album. I can't take that from 50. I'm a kid. Of course, I'm going to bump that. You know what I'm saying? It was fire. It was different. But beef, I'm like, man, I'm riding with my nigga Chop, you know? And sometimes it was hard to listen to that album because I was so Murder Inc. this, that, and the third. But yeah, bro, like, you know, yeah, man, at the end of the day, bro, if a nigga asks me, you know what I'm saying, between the two, I'm gonna say Murder Inc. I'm gonna say Murder Inc., man. They was everything to me. Regardless of what people said, regardless of what they was going through, even after the battle with the feds and all of that, they beat it. And they had the rebrand and all of that. They was calling themselves the Ink Empire and all of that. You know what I'm saying? They was calling themselves the Ink because they had to drop the murder from their name. Then, you know, that was that the RULE album? Yeah, that was around that time, the RULE album, because that's when he came back with that wonderful record with I said Rakim. My bad. That wonderful record with R. Kelly and Ashanti. And that was the also the album that featured New York with Jadakiss and Fat Joe. They was up under the Ink then. So they did that. I think Ashanti, her last album was on the Ink. Concrete Rose, I want to say. I think that was on the Ink. It might have been on Murder Inc., but yeah, I know they had to drop the name and they was going with the Ink. And, you know, a lot of people say, like, they was, you know, fading away slowly but surely, but I was still rocking with them. I was still rocking with them. RULE, then he came back with, what was that? Because it was, then he went with Rule 336, Pain is Love, Last Temptation, Blood in My, RULE. Okay, yeah, and the last album, yeah, that was like the last album. Ashanti was doing her thing still. Yeah, it was like they kind of like started, you know, the Ink was no more, but I was still rocking with them as individual solo artists. Like, whatever Herb got going on, whatever Rue got going on, Ashanti, whatever, I'm still supporting that, whether it's Murder Inc. or not. Because, you know, Ja Rule had to sit down and do that time. And I remember he also released that Mirror album that never came out with featuring Lil Wayne. That was under Empire. All of that, I was still rocking with Murder Inc., man. I was still running around throwing up M's. I was still yelling it out like I was a part of the team. And I'm still arguing with motherfuckers no matter what, bro. Like, Murder Inc. is the shit. I don't care what you say. I know I had a lot, you know, with No Limit, but Murder Inc. was that for me. That was a whole different ball game. That was a whole different ball game. You got like they had like a good 3 to 5 year run, and I loved it. I loved it. Ja Rule was doing his thing. Ashanti was doing her thing. Irv was doing his thing. Not to mention everybody else. Vita, Charlie. Black Child, Shink Santana, bro. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to D.O. Kane. Everybody was doing their thing. Cadillac, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I had to choose between No Limit Records and Murder Inc., it'd be Murder Inc. Hands down. But I love y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe. This ain't Dog, the biggest dog of them all. The dog is out.